Yo, you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and welcome to a Friday edition of TNInews. I'm joined here by Salome, though I guess you can't, she's a little bit off camera there. But Salome is here with us today to go over all the latest. Before we get into the news, let's just do a quick recap, see who's in the house. Looks like we got a couple of new action figure enthusiast members here as well today, which looks like 3 new members. So that brings us up to, doing math in my head, 57 is, yes, 57. So we need 3 more to get to 60, and we'll do a giveaway for $100 store credit when we do that. So looks like, again, 3. We need 3 more to get to 60. But let's welcome our new action figure enthusiasts out there, Limitless Wanderlust. So welcome to them. We've got Toys Incorporated, not to be mistaken with Kids Incorporated. Welcome. And Bring Toys to Work. So welcome all of you guys. Again, thank you for taking that little extra bit to become an action figure enthusiast member. It is much appreciated. For those of you who haven't and might be interested, you can hit the link in the video description. And like I said, right now we're working our way up to 60. So just a few more to go. And then we'll do a special giveaway, giving away $100 store credit to one lucky action figure enthusiast member. Let's see who else is in the house. We've got John here. Good to see you. Austin, as always, good to see you. Happy Friday to you. We've got Adam Shaggy Craig in the house. What is up? We've got Judge Dreads in the house. We've got Zim in the house. We've got, now Salome is in the way, Mr. Collectorverse. What's up? Hopefully you and your family are doing well. Same to you. The Mass Figure Collector. How are things going with you and the family? Doing well, doing well. Leo's in the house. What is up? Mr. Allmine is here. Again, our one of our newest members, Bring Toys to Work. Hobgoblin 1985. Good to see you, my friend. El Grillo is in the house. What is up? Bring Toys to Work, another new member. After all these years of watching one of my favorite YouTubers, I joined. Again, thank you very much, my friend. Always good to have you here. Comics 1017. I'm here and also at work. Make sure, I don't know what you do for a living, but hopefully don't get in trouble watching the stream if you're at work. Out for Shelf Space. Yo, what is up? Chris Allen is in the house. What is up? Oceano 777. What's up? Buff 88. What is up? Maximum Juggernaut incoming. And Rick is in the house. All right, so let's jump into that news. We've got quite a bit to go over. A lot of Marvel Legends stuff from yesterday's live stream. A couple things on the McFarlane front. For you Transformer fans, been a little while since we've had any real Transformer news, but we got this artwork giving us what looks like our first look at the upcoming Studio Series 86 Megatron. So a lot of people have been asking, is Megatron actually going to transform into a gun? And from this render that we're seeing, or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call this, it looks, I don't see any tank parts here. It almost looks like you would transform into a gun, but I would find it hard to believe that Hasbro is going to give us an actual Megatron that transforms into a gun. But I guess we'll see. Of course, in the 86 movie, he did in fact transform into a gun. But again, we'll just have to wait and see when we get the official reveal, which probably, I'm guessing, will be San Diego Comic-Con time. Let's see, what else do we got? I'm trying to figure, do we want to head into Marvel now, or let's save Marvel for last? So just a few quick updates on the McFarlane toy front. So this is the new 52 Superman figure here in the United States. This is being offered as a Target store exclusive. It went up briefly this morning on Amazon Canada. Looks like it's no longer available. I don't know if it's sold out or if they just pulled it. But again, here in the United States, this is going to be offered as a Target store exclusive. But thanks to Amazon Canada, we do now have the official images. Soft goods cape. So that one is coming. Entertainment Earth, if you still haven't gotten your hands on a new Superman movie figure, put up the case with Ultraman, Lex Luthor, and Deluxe Superman. So this sold out originally on Entertainment Earth, but they have now relisted as a case. June 1st is the on-shelf date, official on-shelf date for all Superman movie product. So if you haven't seen it on physical shelves, and some stores have put it out early, you'll probably see it this weekend. Before we get on to Masters, also Target exclusive, but Amazon Canada had this up yesterday. This is that Strange Lives of Superman figure. So official images for that one. This is the lion head figure, but you also get the big head figure and more of a classic head. So this is definitely kind of a going deep type version of Superman, but that big giant head just it kills me every time I look at it. So again, this one here in the United States is going to be a Target store exclusive. I assume at some point it'll be available online, but has not yet been made available online. But again, Amazon Canada had that one. Turns out there's yet another gold label version of a Superman figure. This is a battle damage version of Superman. This is for the multiverse, not the collector edition. So no crypto or anything with this one. But this comes via CMD Store, which is a Canadian store. I don't think this is actually exclusive to them, but I don't know what store in the United States this will be exclusive to. But just keep an eye out for that one. Here are the official images for the gold label version of Ultraman. So we talked about this one on Wednesday. This is a Walmart exclusive. It is actually now listed with images on Walmart's website, though last time I checked, not available for purchase, but likely will go up soon. But again, you can see here, I put this together for you guys to get a comparison between the two. The one on the right here is the regular version. The one that's more black is the gold label version, which is listed as a battle damage version. So again, this gold label Ultraman will be at Walmart's and eventually in the fairly near future should be available online. I think that's everything else from McFarlane since Wednesday. Entertainment Earth finally listed, like, they hadn't listed any new NECA stuff for the whole month, and then finally yesterday they put everything up. So these have been available at places like Big Bad Toy Store. A lot of this stuff was offered during Target Haulathon. But again, now Entertainment Earth, if you're interested, has that stuff up for pre-order. For you Masters of the Universe fans, so this Blade from the '87 movie, this is a Masterverse figure. It was announced almost a year ago at San Diego Comic Con, but it has now finally got up for pre-order. You can get it at Big Bad Toy Store. So cost is $23.99 at Big Bad, and it's supposed to be released next month. So short window for pre-order, but again, that one, a long time coming. From Mondo, this was offered as a Mondo exclusive. This is the regular skeleton, updated Skeletor that they did, 1/6 scale, but less accessories than the Mondo version. But that's available at Big Bad Toy Store as well. Let's see, anything else in particular? GIJoe. So I told you about this one last week, Budo. So this is one of the pre-orders for next week, June 4th. Hasbro just randomly decided to put this render up on on their social media yesterday. So this is a deluxe figure. You can see with all the extra armor accessories and stuff, multiple heads. So this will be sold as a deluxe figure. Again, this is one of the ones that will be going up for pre-order next week. As I've said, we should also be getting Flash, one of the original members with the Laser Trooper Flash wetsuit to go along with your leather neck, and a Cobra Night Viper. So those should be the ones. And I think the mobile missile system with Colonel Hawk, I think, is going up next week as well. But we've seen a render for that one. But we have not yet seen renders for Wetsuit or Flash or the Cobra Night Viper. I suspect we will see those renders released by Hasbro between now and next Wednesday when the live stream is. And then later in that day, there will be GIJoe classified pre-orders. Whether there's other things like store exclusives, Hasbro Pulse exclusives, like maybe the All Striker or something, I don't know. Also, it looks like, I haven't 100% confirmed this, but it does look like there will be additional GIJoe classified pre-orders on June 11th. I'm going by the Entertainment Earth Drop Zone page. Looks like they're teasing more GIJoe classified pre-orders on June 11th. So, we've got other renders that we've seen include the retro cardback Bat, the retro cardback green shirt trooper, again the All Striker. Though I'm thinking the All Striker is going to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, but so it looks like GIJoe June officially kicks off on Sunday, so they may be waiting until Sunday to show the remaining renders. If they're doing one a day, they might do one Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, leading us into the live stream. Now, I suspect, as always, we will see official images for the pre-orders leak out the night before, sometime, the night before or early in the morning of the live stream. That seems to be what always happens, especially when pre-orders and the live stream happen on the same day. But we'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. But again, the stuff that's going up for pre-order next week, Hasbro never showed us the renders for. So to kind of launch GIJoe June, it seems like that's what they're doing now. So again, we've got the first one here with Budo, and then, like I say, Flash, the Night Viper, and Wetsuit. I suspect we will get looks at maybe as early as today, but over the next few days. Definitely by next Wednesday when the live stream is. Anything else? I think that's it other than Marvel. So strange. So this is sold out again, but I heard people were having their Spider-Man 66 and Ghost Spider figures from Walmart, the last Walmart CollectorCon, having their orders canceled. And then yesterday, Walmart made this figure available again. Again, it's sold out now, but if your order got canceled, and I don't know why they would cancel people's orders and then relist it, but that's Walmart for you. But hopefully, everyone that wants this figure, the 77, movie / TV series Spider-Man, will be able to get it. All right. Let's get into yesterday's reveals. So I thought yesterday's reveals were pretty good. We did see all of the Marvel versus Capcom stuff. So I was a little off in the listings I had seen that suggested that not everything was going to fall under the Gamerverse label, but in fact they did, which makes sense. Also, these are this year's anniversary subline that they're doing. So I don't know why the listings I saw were split up into two groups, but nevertheless, what we talked about on Wednesday is in fact what got revealed. Though, some of these, like I was only, as I mentioned on Wednesday, the only thing I was planning on getting was the Shumagorath Gargantos figure. As I told you, the trademark issues, they're calling it Gargantos. but we all know him as Shumagorath from the Marvel vs. Capcom game. So this was originally the only one that I was thinking about getting. And I will say, I think this is pretty awesome looking, so no complaints here. But as far as Shumagorath in the game, this figure is actually a little bit on the large side. You know, he comes off larger. The figure comes off larger compared to other 6-inch figures than he does appear in the video game. But that doesn't bother me because these tentacles are bendy and stuff. So I don't know if, I mean, here it looks like, I mean, this is photography. In fact, that's Silver Samurai kicking Shumagorath. But like, I don't know if Shumagorath can actually lift up figures with the tentacles or grab figures with the tentacles. We'll have to see. I don't know, but hopefully you can. The eyelid opens and closes. You can move the eyeball around. So that's definitely cool. You get this extra piece that mimics his abilities in the game. So you can see he's crossing his tentacles there. So again, closed box, but definitely I'm getting this. Now Hasbro did not release pricing information on their reveals yesterday. I've been doing some checking, so I won't say I haven't confirmed this 100%, but based on what I've seen, it looks like Gargantos is going to be priced somewhere either between $65 and $70. Okay, I haven't been able to pinpoint a specific price, but it looks like it's going to fall in the window between 65 and 70. At least from the initial things that I've seen for this figure. So again, Hasbro's not yet released that information. I won't say 100% that's the price, but if you're trying to budget for this stuff, I would plan to budget somewhere in the neighborhood of 65 to 70 bucks. Now this one goes up for pre-order on June 18th. Not everything's going up for pre-order the same day. In fact, it's kind of like once a week type thing. So just today, of course, was the Fantastic Four First Step figures. I told you about those. The 6-figure wave, which we got our full look at. These are MSRP priced at $24.99, so just the regular 25 bucks. And then, of course, the Human Torch. Reed Richards has stretchy arms with bendy wire, regular arms as well, multiple hands. Flame On Human Torch. We talked about the images that leaked out early for that one on Wednesday. The female Silver Surfer has her surfboard, has this, looks like she's surfing on fire, so it's kind of weird, but that little stand for her surfboard. The Thing, and then Sue Storm with her invisible effects. With the retro style packaging, again, we saw that when the Human Torch images leaked out. But as I said, those are available for pre-order. You can get a Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Nerdzoic has them, Amazon has them. I don't think they've sold out anywhere. So $24.99 is the MSRP price for those figures. And Entertainment Earth, which had raised their prices, has listed these at their MSRP prices. So that's good to see. Let's get back into the Marvel versus Capcom stuff. So this one was another surprise. So this one I was really just expecting Hasbro to re-release the previous Juggernaut that we had gotten. With some extra game accessories, maybe a little bit different paint deco. But in fact, this is a brand new sculpted figure, and I'm going to go down to the actual live stream images because they give us a size comparison for Juggernaut. So this thing is huge, bigger. You know, this previous Juggernaut wasn't small, but this is more like Marvel Select size, I would say. So here's an image showing the original, the previous Juggernaut with this new one, and you can just see how much bigger this new one is. Does have single hinge knees and elbows, but has toe articulation, has butterfly joints. I don't think the arms will fall off. It wasn't a huge issue on the previous one, but I know some people said they had issues with the arms coming off pretty easy. I've had the arms pop off because this one was originally a Build-A-Figure. That's why that is, but this one is not. It's a regular figure. So, um, but again, this one is going to be going up on June 26th. So this one's going to round out the month. Again, not set in stone, but from what I've seen, it looks like this one is going to be priced at $65. So $65 is what I'm seeing. Initial pricing information I'm seeing for this one. So not confirmed by Hasbro. I won't say 100%, but again, if you want an idea of what to budget for, look for probably around $65. This is probably my least favorite of the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. I will probably pass on this one. This is going to be exclusive to Walmart. It's going up on June 27th. So this is War Machine, which we've already gotten a Marvel vs. Capcom version of, and Omega Red. So you get some new accessories for War Machine. He's got different deco. If you don't have the previous one, then you might want to check this one out. But in the Omega Red, I think is the same one we've got mostly. So, like I say, this one I probably am not going to get. But if you don't have any of like the previous versions of these two, then this might be worth checking out. Um, 2 packs, I believe, are going to be $60. So I believe the 2 packs are going to be priced at $60. Another 2 pack. This is a general release. This is going up for pre-order. I think this is the first Marvel vs. Capcom set going up for pre-order next week on June 5th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Should be available on Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Nerdzoic will have it. So this is Wolverine versus Silver Samurai. This is the one that they teased. We talked about on Wednesday. This is another one I'm a little bit on the fence on. I really don't know if I need another Wolverine. I already have the X-Men Retro Cardback Silver Samurai. You do get more game-oriented accessories, but this one I may end up passing on as well. I haven't decided yet. I do like these effect pieces for Wolverine. To me, that's probably the coolest thing about this particular set. So, but again, this is your first pre-order for Marvel vs. Capcom that'll go up next week. This is another one that kind of surprised me. Originally, I wasn't going to get, but I may. You've got Blue Venom, and you've got a beefier Captain America. So this isn't just a straight-up re-release of Cap. Now, one thing I noticed, first thing that kind of glared at me was no chainmail, no sculpted chainmail. So I was joking with somebody. I said I could see Hasbro giving us this figure again as a maximum figure with the sculpted chainmail, maybe some additional accessories, some different head sculpts. With this, you do get a regular shield with no holes in it. You get this blast effect for recreating the game. But again, the shield has no holes or cracks or anything like that. So looks pretty good, and then the Venom looks pretty good too. Blue. I didn't never really thought I needed a blue Venom, but I might. So this one, I originally I was definitely a no on, and now I'm considering it pretty heavily to get this one. You get the head sculpt, Eddie Brock head sculpt, half transformed. So this one's going up on June 12th. This again will be available places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Amazon will have that one. This one is probably going to be really popular. Worst news about this one is it's a Target store exclusive. But Psylocke is on an updated female pinless sculpt. So I would say this is probably the best looking Psylocke that they've done to date. Thanos, you got a different head sculpt, different paint apps. I think the boots are a little bit different. You get the Infinity Gauntlet, but the real gem here is Psylocke with the new body, 2 head sculpts, or psychic effects. But like I said, unfortunately, this one is a Target store exclusive. It is supposed to go up for pre-order on June 6th. So this is another one going up next week. The day after the Wolverine and Silver Samurai. But again, this is Target. It's supposed to go up at 1 p.m., but you never know with Target. And you never know if this is going to sell out quick or not. So if you want this set, I would definitely try. I think this one's going to go pretty fast. So you definitely probably want to try and be online that day. But again, June 6th, Target store exclusive. Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick with this June 6th. Now, Hasbro did not mention anything about the Target Geek Out event. I think we talked about this on Wednesday, but McFarlane Toys, during their McFarlane Toy Show the other day, said that Target Geek Out was going to start on June 13th. Now, the summer Geek Out event, if you're not familiar, they do it winter, summer. Every Friday for about a month, they put up pre-orders for a specific company. So one Friday will be McFarlane, one Friday will be Hasbro, other companies as well. Since this is going up on June 6th, even though McFarlane had said June 13th is when the Target Geek Out event was going to start, I am wondering if McFarlane was referring to when their stuff is going to go up during Target Geek Out, and that perhaps Target Geek Out's actually going to start next Friday, June 6th, kicking off with Hasbro stuff. I think Friday. Actually didn't bother to look, but yeah, June 6th is a Friday. So I am thinking, even though, again, Hasbro yesterday did not specifically mention anything about the Target Geek Out event, I am thinking that the Target Geek Out event might actually start next Friday, kicking off with Hasbro. If that's the case, then besides the Psylocke and Thanos, we'll probably see that Weapon X and Mystique figures that they announced a couple of live streams ago. So again, they did not specifically mention it, but I would just, if I can't find a. But again, if I'm speculating here, but if I'm guessing right and Target Geek Out kicks off next Friday with Hasbro stuff, then I would say a good chance we're going to see Mystique and Weapon X. I definitely think it will go up during the Geek Out event. So I definitely foresee these going up for pre-order this month in June. But like I say, just putting two together, based on what Hasbro said, I'm thinking we might get 3 different Marvel Legend items going up for pre-order, or at least 2. Maybe both Weapon X and Mystique won't go up on the same day, but Hasbro might have more than one Friday during the event, so it's possible they could break it up. But we'll have to wait and see. But just keep an eye out for information on those, because I am expecting those pre-orders to probably launch pretty soon. But definitely, whether it's part of Target Geek Out or just a random pre-order, the Psylocke and the the Thanos 2-pack will be going up on Target's website, according to Hasbro, on June 6th. So let's see. I think that covered everything, right? Yeah. So those are your Marvel versus Capcom inspired figures. Everything going up for pre-order in the month of June. Um, Overall, I was pretty impressed with all of it. Like I say, I probably will pass on the Omega Red and the War Machine 2-pack and maybe the Wolverine and Silver Samurai 2-pack, but I will definitely get Shumagorath. I am assuming I can grab one before it sells out. I'll get the Psylocke Thanos, and leaning towards yes on Captain America, Venom, and almost definitely yes on Juggernaut, just because I think it looks really cool. I did not pre-order any of the Fantastic Four figures. To me, I don't know. I just was not that excited for these. But if you're a fan of the movie, I think the Human Torch is the best looking one, honestly. But yeah, I did not pre-order any of those. All right, one final thing I wanted to share with you on the Marvel Legend front. This is total rumor, okay? I have not seen anything to verify this information. This comes from a source that is not known for Marvel Legend leaks. He is known for sometimes getting McFarlane DC Multiverse leaked information. But so Alex Chen, Toy News on Instagram, is the one that posted about this. But I did find it kind of interesting. But I do want to reiterate that I have not been able to, confirm any of this. I will say some of these figures have been rumored before by like displaying model behavior, but and supposedly this is all part. All these figures are part of one Build-A-Figure wave, and we don't know what the Build-A-Figure is. But according to him, we're going to see a wave of Iron Man Mark 72 comic book base. So that's one of the newer Iron Man armors. A World War II era Logan figure. Phantom Rider, so the cowboy Ghost Rider. Don't think it'll have a horse or anything, just Phantom Rider. Dark Avenger Spider-Man, so that is one that displaying model behavior has suggested was coming in the line at some point down the road. Werewolf by Night is another figure that he had suggested was coming last year. Now, I will tell you, if that is true, if we're getting Werewolf by Night, you can probably expect to see more than one werewolf figure be released. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. But again, Werewolf by Night, Enchantress. So getting that one again, probably on the new, if that's true, new updated body. And then another Crystar figure with the character Warbow. And what's interesting about this one is, you may recall, so Warbow is like, he's a translucent green guy who has a crossbow that's green with an air that shoots arrows that are green. So yesterday in the live stream, their tease, the thing they finished off with, was what appeared to be a green arrow. So again, could be coincidence, but that's possibly what it's teasing. If that list is accurate. Now, another possibility is, in the past, Hasbro has shown unpainted prototype accessories. You may recall when they showed us the accessory for the X-Force Archangel figure, it was unpainted, though they did tell us that. They said, this is an unfinished prototype of an accessory. They did not say that about this arrow that Dwight was using as a toothpick in the live stream yesterday. So but if it is green, it could, I've seen other people plausibly say this could be for Dark Avengers Hawkeye, which, I feel like I haven't seen any listings for that, but being, they seem to be giving us all the Dark Avenger characters. That certainly, Hawkeye coming at some point, who of course in the comics was actually Bullseye, is definitely a possibility. But again, if the arrow is green as they show here, then and this list is accurate, then this Crystar Warbow figure might be what that was teasing. So again, for now, keep this with a complete grain of salt, because again, Alex is not known for Marvel Legend news. This is like his first time ever posting about Marvel Legends. I don't know where he came about this information. So, and I have not confirmed it from any additional places. So, I'm throwing it out there because it's kind of interesting. Again, a couple of the figures have been previously rumored by other folks who have demonstrated to be more reliable, or have demonstrated reliability with their leaks. Um, Again, I'm not faulting Alex Chen. I'm just saying, he's never been known for Marvel Legend info. So we'll have to see if this all turns out to be true. Then, definitely you can probably treat him as a legitimate source for Marvel Legends. But until then, we'll have to wait and see. But it's interesting wave. It's kind of a mishmash of various characters, but we have seen Hasbro doing that more and more with waves. Getting away from the set themed waves and just giving us a mix of characters. Have no idea what the Build-A-Figure will be for this wave if this ends up being correct, but that's not unusual. Usually Build-A-Figure information is not readily available with this type of thing. So again, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All right, I think that brings us up to date on everything. So let's just see what you guys are saying. Comic saying he's a teacher at college and it's Friday during the summer. I think I'm one of 4 people here. Nice. Chris Allen, happy to see Masterverse Blade Fit. Yeah, it took him forever. I don't know what the holdup was on that one. I didn't buy any of the other 87 Masterverse movie figures when they gave us that He-Man that looked nothing like Dolph Lundgren, and I understand why because of likeness rates, but I just couldn't get into any of the other movie figures. So I thought Blade looked pretty good, though someone told me that he looks too happy. The Mass Figure Collector just got the GIJoe Classified Dragonfly at the end of April. Nice. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I love mine. As I talked about on Wednesday, I threw my Maximum Hulk on there. You can see him hanging off the bottom there. He's getting ready to throw a missile at the Dragonfly, so hopefully Wild Bill can get himself out of that mess. But I love the Dragonfly. As we talked about on Wednesday, the Cobra Rattler is probably going to be shipping towards the end of next month to those of us who backed it. So I am definitely eagerly anticipating getting that. I'm going to hang it back there. I got a little, I don't know how well you can see it, but I got a little GIJoe Cobra vehicle battle going on back there. So I'm going to find a place to hang it from the ceiling, just like I have the Dragonfly there. I've already got a trouble bubble in the air there going up against the Dragonfly, but definitely will work my Cobra Rattler into there once it arrives. So looking forward to that. I am assuming we will get a HasLab for GIJoe this year. If so, I'm assuming they will announce it at San Diego Comic-Con as they normally do. I would not expect them to announce it like next week or something. Maybe tease it, but not announce it. Oh, a few other things. So, obviously, while we got some really cool stuff revealed during the Marvel Legend live stream, there were things that I've talked about with you guys that I expect to see in the near future. So, because they weren't revealed during the live stream, I suspect we will hear about them at San Diego Comic Con. That includes X-Men, the next X-Men 97 wave, the Magic Spider-Man figures I've talked about. We still don't know about the Shayna figure. They did not mention the Shayna figure at all yesterday that they'd shown the image for a couple of weeks ago. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going, obviously they've not shared any information about this year's Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. They talked about being at Comic-Con during live stream yesterday, but they didn't say anything about the exclusive. So I suspect that will be made, we will obviously learn about that before San Diego, but that announcement will come at some point, probably, next month, through some type of mainstream media website or something, not through like a live stream, which is typical. They often don't announce Comic-Con exclusives during live streams. We know GIJoe is like the Cold Slither box set, which I suspect we will get better looks at on June 4th during that live stream. But they did not mention anything about their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for Marvel Legends, and they did not mention anything about the Shanna the She-Devil figure. Whether the Shanna figure is part of this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive or not, I don't know. As I've said before, just gut feeling, that's my feeling, but I don't have like any inside information to that. So I'm in the dark completely about the Shanna figure. I'm just guessing that I'm thinking it's going to be part of this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. But I could be wrong. Could be part of a wave that we haven't heard about or something along those lines. So, we'll see. I'm sure if the announcement for whatever that figure is part of doesn't come, just randomly between now and San Diego, we will definitely learn more about that one at San Diego Comic-Con. So yeah, so definitely, a couple of things, which I kind of, I said on when it came pretty clear that they were going to start showing Marvel versus Capcom stuff during this live stream, then I was originally thinking they weren't going to announce the Marvel versus Capcom stuff until San Diego, launch it at San Diego. But when it came pretty clear on Wednesday that that's what they were going to be focusing on, then the other things that we've talked about seem more likely that they would hold until San Diego Comic-Con. Mr. Online Juggernaut looks awesome, but I'm scared of what the price will be. Like I say, I believe that one won't, not 100%, but I'm thinking probably around $65. Judge Dredd still like my Juggy, but the new one looks nice. Quinn, what is up? Hope you're having a quintastic day, my friend. Same to you. Hopefully things are going okay with you at the store. I've been hearing lots of horror stories with folks having to deal with Diamond Comics, publishers who are either dropping Diamond or waiting to get paid by Diamond. Dynamite Entertainment was the most. Udon was the. I got an email from Udon. I think it went out to everybody that's on their mailing list saying that they were ceasing distribution, at least for now. That they would not be going through Diamond distributors. So, we've talked about the effects that all of that's had on Diamond Select Toys. I've still not heard anything specific about what's going to happen with pre-orders. There is a message on the Diamond Select Toys website, but it seems like a pretty vague, says nothing type message. I think they have stopped taking orders on the Diamond Select Toy website. I don't think e-tailers have necessarily stopped, but the ones I've talked to seem to think there's not much chance that anything that hasn't already been shipped out will get released. But, those details, the new owners, Ad Populum, who of course owns NECA Toys, from everything I'm seeing, has not been very communicative about where things are going, which honestly doesn't surprise me. Chris Allen still can't find the Cyborg Superman figure anywhere. Frustrating, as I really do like that figure. I believe I've seen some people finding it. I can't remember if it was Walmart or Target. GameStop so far is the only place that has had it available at all online. It's sold out very quickly. And I think GameStops have had it in store. But I have not heard anything about whether any other places will. You know, I ranted a little bit about all the platinum BS that's getting a little frustrating with McFarlane Toys, but um, yeah, I don't have any additional information on how readily, if more readily available that figure would be. I think I talked about this on Wednesday. I saw Todd threw up a video today on social media talking about how Walmart is moving all the McFarlane products off the regular toy aisle into the collector section. He says back wall. My Walmart, it's not on the back wall. It is in the electronics section, but it's not like Target where it's on the very back wall. But nevertheless, if you go into Walmart looking for McFarlane stuff, don't expect to find it in the toy aisles anymore. You'll have to go to the collector area, wherever that is in your store. I suspect that has a lot to do with the fact that McFarlane is soon about to lose the DC license, and so the other stuff that McFarlane will have left are definitely not stuff that really would appeal to kids and parents. So Walmart's moving all of McFarlane to the back wall. Battle damaged Superman instead of dirty enough. His suit is like Superman Burt in the film. I think you're saying it's not dirty enough. Yeah, I kind of agree. And that just seems like something. I don't know. That just seems like a last minute. Hey, let's just throw a couple of marks on him and call him battle damaged. The Watcher, you can make a Keanu Reeves 47 Ronin figure. I assume you're talking about the Budo GIJoe classified figure. I will, like, I was amazed at how excited people were for that figure. Like, I barely even remember the Budo character from GIJoe. I remember vaguely the original toy, which I never had, but he's not like a major character. But like everyone, oh man, I love Budo. He's my favorite character and stuff. So I guess samurais are popular. Mr. Allmine, yet my 77 Spider-Man was canceled, and then I had to reorder it. Stupid Walmart. Yeah, and hopefully it won't get canceled again. But I feel like it's like, okay, let's cancel these orders. All right, let's put them back up online. It's like you canceled them so you could resell them again. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning was. I don't know if it's like a glitch in the system. I don't know if like if you pay with PayPal or something, if that cause I don't know. It's really weird. And I assume the ones that they did put back up online, making them available again, were the ones that they canceled. But why they canceled them, I have no idea. And I mean, yeah, it is. It's not like that doesn't happen all the time. You're right. It's typical Walmart behavior, but you'd think it's something they would look into and fix someday. Judge Dredd's Shumagorath is cool, but he didn't fit in with my master plan. Terex Shuma can change. So in the original Marvel superheroes game, which is kind of what I always envision, I don't think he. I mean, he like do out his tentacles, but he didn't like grow in size. Now in some of the later games, some of the later Marvel versus Capcom games, he might have, and certainly in the comics, you know, he is bigger. So I mean, you could definitely use Gargantos, Shumagorath, for your comic figures, even if you're not really into the video games. Like I said, it doesn't bother me that much. I just, when I think of the game, I don't. I think of him being about the same size as a regular Marvel character. Felix, I want one character out of all the two packs. I'm selling those I don't need. Yeah, that is always annoying when like they make you buy a two pack for the one figure you want, the other one you don't. Hollow Knight. Again, I did 65 to 70, so it might only be 65. I don't know, but I think 70 would be tops on that one. But yes, and it's big. It's a huge ass figure. So I can't say it surprises. If it costs $70, Shumagorath, I can't say that surprises me. Figure Fury, what is up? The Gray Ghost, 65 sweet spot for Gargantos. Well, I agree, 65 definitely better than 70. But I'm just thinking because just based on today's prices, and if you saw how big it was in the stream, 70 seems more realistic to me. But I hope it's 65. Oh, I hope it's 60. But again, from what I've seen, it's at least going to be 65 and possibly as much as 70. And then, of course, I hate to bring up tariffs, but tariffs have made their way back into the news again. Um, a court this week ruled against Trump being able to impose tariffs, but then there was a temporary pause on that at the appeals court. So now we'll have to wait a couple of weeks to see how that plays out. But then now, just today, Trump has said that China is reneging on whatever trade deal they supposedly were working on. So, Trump might be threatening 145% tariffs here any day now. I mean, you just don't know, but that also could have some effect on things. So, any kind of pricing information you got to unfortunately take with a grain of salt right now. Tarek says this might replace my Marvel Select Juggernaut. Yeah, I won't say until somebody gives us a comparison, but I have a feeling it's probably about the same size as the Marvel Select. And Hasbro, I always hear people when you talk about Juggernaut, and they like, oh, the Marvel Select one is about in the size and everything. So I feel like Hasbro took that to heart and said, hey, let's give them a Marvel Select size Juggernaut. So Phil, it should look awesome against the Hulk. Yeah, the new Juggernaut versus the Maximum Hulk, or any Hulk for that matter. But or I'll put you one better. I bet you that new Juggernaut will look really good with the Maximum Spider-Man figure. And I'm thinking back to the X-Force issues where Spider-Man teams up with X-Force versus Juggernaut. Hey, John from Ireland, always good to hear from you. Hopefully, all is going well across the pond. Glenn, what is up? Chris says, do you like the cap? I will. It will be curious to see how the cap Marvel versus Capcom cap, which is supposed to be buffer and a little bigger than the previous cap, how that compares with the recent U.S. Agent figure that they did. Felix, definitely don't need another Thanos, but I do need that Psylocke. I kind of agree with you. I mean, if I could if it was up to me, I would would be happy with just being able to buy a Psylocke without having to get Thanos. But again, as we mentioned before, always annoying when they make you buy a figure that you want for one with one that you don't want. But that's kind of part of the game. Figure Fury is all in on all of it. Davey Sockrocker, a lot of the Thanoses are going to end up on eBay. The Great Ghost, at this point, with Hasbro squeezing money out of us, we should demand endless figures. My feeling, if it's something you don't like or, just don't buy it. I mean, but it's hard to tell other people what they should buy and not buy. Judge Dreads, I just bought a Marvel Select. Let's see, the Marvel Select Psylocke does not fit in. I mean, if you just collect Selects, that's great, but she doesn't fit in with, there are some Marvel Selects that do fit in with Marvel Legends, but she's not one of them. Chris, biggest issue with McFarlane figures is availability of and that's the whole platinum gold label thing, which I agree is very has definitely kind of turned me off on most McFarlane figures these days. It's just not worth the hassle to me. Uh, Again, not set in stone, but I think you're probably going to see somewhere between 65 and $70 on Gargantus. Shuma going to be yes, Amazon and fan channels for Shuma. So you're not going to see Shuma at Target or Walmart, but Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Hasbro Pulse, Nerdzoic, all those guys should have that one. A Davy Sock Rocket Enchantress is useless without the Eradicator, maybe or Executioner. I think you mean. Um, Maybe he's the build a figure, and that's certainly could be. I mean, that would be cool. I think a lot of people would be happy if we got like a Executioner build a figure, comic book based Executioner build a figure. I who knows, but that certainly would be logical and I think popular. Solicitations just went through my distributor for the Marvel Legend Fantastic Four movie figures today. Got them all on order. Comic Shop, nice, nice. Felix, yes. Werewolf by Night, finally. And even if that one is not, say, this wave ends up not being true, Werewolf by Night, I think, is likely to come in the line because, again, this isn't the first time we are hearing about Werewolf by Night. So with that one, it's more about will it be part of this wave or will it be released some other way? Davies, as was taking the DC license and teasing Green Arrow. You're not the first one to make that suggestion. But no, no, that's not the case. John says, since the MCU Invisible Woman likeness isn't the exact match to the actress, it could potentially make a great replacement to the horrible retro one. That's a possibility. I had someone else tell me they're getting Mr. Fantastic so they can take the Pedro Pascal head sculpt and put it on their Mandalorian figure because they didn't like the likenesses on those Black Series Mandalorian figures. Figure Fury, Phantom Rider looks more like a cut. Yeah, you're right. He does. And I will tell you that I could go for a Phantom Rider, but I would rather see a deluxe with a horse. Though I suppose there's horses out there you could probably buy separately from other companies. But again, Gargantos, not set in stone, but 65 to 70 is what I've been hearing. The Watcher, now that's a good idea. Build a figure of the Phantom Rider's horse. That would be interesting. I don't know how that would work though. I feel like it's just like the horse's body would be bigger than the packaging. But I don't know. Maybe they could make that work. He's talking about Phantom Rider, which is kind of like considered the old West version of Ghost Rider. But yeah, if you look at him, he doesn't have flames and stuff. He basically wears white. He has a mask and he has a white cowboy hat. The Watcher. They could use the Psylocke 4 different times. Actually, they can use her for X-Men '97, '90s cartoon X-Men. Well, I think we're done with '90s X-Men cartoon stuff. I think anything along those lines will now come under the X-Men '97. I also wonder, like, will the next season of X-Men be called X-Men '98, or will it always be called X-Men '97? But anyway, '90s Jim Lee. If they were going to reissue that, yes. Which down the road, I'm sure they will. Marvel versus Capcom for recolors and a retro car. Yep, you're 100% right. Quinn, I spoke with Diamond Rep, and everyone has been paid by the new company, and they are renegotiating contracts to bring some of the publishers that left under the previous owners. I don't know. Like I said, I got an email just literally, I think it was yesterday from Udon saying they are no longer dealing with uh, going through Diamond distributors right now. And I've heard not my reporting, so but like Bleeding Cool Comics has been doing a lot of reporting, and um, apparently Dynamite Entertainment is owed a lot of money. Um, and yes, I realize there's some quibbling over what old Diamond that declared bankruptcy owes people, and then what the new owners owe people. But from everything I've heard, it's a mess. Eric says, I just saw the new McFarlane Superman figures at Target. And as I said, official street date is June 1st, but we all know how stores often honor those embargoes. Like even like that X Factor Jean Grey figure that's a Target exclusive. I've seen some people finding it on shelves and then they go to the cash register and it won't let them check out. I want to say the street date on that one is June. I forget the exact day, but it's coming up here in June. But like Target, and I hate that. Like when they put it out on shelves, if they put it out on shelves, they should let you check out with it. Nothing worse than you find something you're looking for, you pick it up, you go up to the cash register, and then the cash register tells you that you can't buy it. But I've seen some people with that Jean Grey figure say, I don't think there's an actual, like, I think if you see the Superman figures, I haven't heard anyone having issues buying them. But again, official street date is June 1st, I believe. Paciano is definitely selling his Thanos figure. CJ Prime only wants Psylocke and Juggernaut. Davey Sockrocker, Shumagorath. I'll pay whatever, even 100. I don't know if I'd get it at 100, but I will. I will if it's 70. I'll bite the bullet and get it. Well, who likes pins? Left. I will tell you, pins don't generally bother me. I do like I hate all of the old Marvel Legend female bodies because 9 times out of 10 the plastic wouldn't hold the weight of the figure. I can't tell you how many older Marvel Legend female figures I have where the knees have buckled under the weight of just the figure. So I definitely, when I see a female character I like on the newer body that has thicker, a little bit generally has thicker knees and stuff. So I haven't found that that's nearly as much of an issue on the newer female body, like the Psylocke here. Um, that I definitely try and update those. As far as the male figures, you know, I'm not necessarily going to run out and buy a whole new figure just because it's pinless. Um, and I think Hasbro has to get their money out of their mold. So, they're not going to retire an older mold until they've gotten their money's worth from it. So, and again, that's just kind of the nature of the, toy biz. So that's why they didn't just immediately switch completely over to pinless figures. But, they're more, I mean, more than not these days, I think do end up being pinless. And certainly when you know, when it's not pinless, it's generally just a reissue figure that they, not much more than a repaint. But again, my feeling is, if you don't like it, don't buy it. If they use an older mold that you don't like, then don't buy it. Mr. Fuller says wouldn't be surprised to see Shuma higher than 70. How much reuse will they get out of that mold? That's a good point. I was going to say they could give us, because in the comics there is an actual Gargantos and there is an actual Shumagorath, but I guess they can't really use the Shumagorath name, so I don't know how they would give us a comic accurate Gargantos. I guess they could frame it that way, but then that would be small, not big, because I believe in the comics Gargantos was quite big. All right, well, we're over an hour, so I think we're going to call it a day. Again, we're getting pretty close to 60 action figure enthusiast members. So quite possibly we will be doing another giveaway next week. I don't yet know whether I'll be back on Monday or Wednesday. Will just depend on how the news flow is. If we get more G.I. Joe renders and stuff, I'll probably, between now and Monday, I'll probably be back on Monday just to talk about that stuff. I'm definitely excited for GIJoe June and next week's live stream. G.I. Joe Classified is one of my favorite lines. I'm definitely looking forward to both Flash and Wetsuit. I was not really thinking about getting Budo when I first saw that was a figure coming, but I got to admit that the render looks pretty good. So I may end up getting that one, even though I know very little about the character himself. And then hopefully, we'll finish off the month with those of us who backed the Rattler last year. Will end up getting our new Rattlers, or getting our Rattlers in the mail. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in today and listening to me ramble. As always, it is always appreciated. Have a safe weekend. Hopefully have a fun weekend. I don't know what you guys have planned. I don't have much planned. Gonna watch some wrestling tonight. But yeah, hope you guys have a safe weekend, and I will talk to you guys next week. And until then, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great,